Hey guys, what's up? I'm here to give you guys a recap on the new episode of The God of High School, which is on episode 12. Now, this episode right here was pretty action-packed, so if anything else, let's just get this started. We have to it that there are some scenes where the Nox is fighting against Park Moo-jin and his commissioners, while they are also fighting against the little small-timing subordinates. And we also get to know a little bit about Jago Tick's past, He was a guy who was raised or was from a certain family that his father teaches him to be strong, don't as long as you're strong, you are glad to overcome anyone that's kind of weak, and that's when Jago Take will later on take inspiration from his father's words and will get a power that will be very strong to him, etc., and he will later on kill him. That aside, like I said, throughout this episode it was just the Nox versus Park Moo-jin and his commissioners, and we also get to see Illipo against Jago, for what he has done to his friends, etc. And it looks like to me things are just looking very hectic right now to a point that I don't know. That aside, they look like they were on par, but eventually, Illipo would later get damaged a bit, and he would end up releasing something that's called the key within him. Park Moo-jin, Mori will later on take that key away, and later on, I think people from the U.S. military, realizing the danger of this, decides to launch a lot of missiles to Korea and Seoul, And by that time, Park Moo-jin decides to teleport the way Dae, Mori, and Mira, along with Illipo and his other friends, to to a certain location where they could be safe. And we see to it, of course, that Illipo ends up waking up after Mori heals him up a bit using pressure points, and later on he tells Mori that I want you to keep this thing, alright? Keep an eye on this key that you have that you have in your hands right now, because this is very important that you must not lose. Because if Jago Take gets his hands on it, everything will go to hell, And then eventually, like I said, the Nox will still continue their fight against Park Moo-jin and his other commissioners, and one of the six will later on be involved with this mighty statue that looks like Ashura or the Buddha, I guess, towards the end. Forgot his name, but all I know is he's an alchemy kind of guy. As for Dae and Mira, we get to see Dae activate his own chariot, which he wants to keep a secret for a little bit. It's like some kind of water thing whatsoever, but whatever the case may be, it's part of his power now. As for Mori, he ends up finding Dae and Mira injured, and he ends up taking on Jago Take in the dimension that Park Moo-jin teleported them at, And we have to it that this guy apparently is trying to use the Buddha statue or something like that to try to crash the entire Seoul or something. And we have to it that the alchemy guy, like I mentioned, that grandson that was killed in the last episode, etc., he ends up taking advantage of the missiles, and he puts them into some kind of sculpture that looks like some kind of Roman thing or something, or whatever the case it's called. But that aside, we see to it that he ends up summoning a meteor to go against that statue of Ashura or Buddha, and later on they end up blowing up. The alchemy guy later on falls forward dead, possibly because he was going to risk his life to avenge his grandson. And we end up seeing a scene where the guy who is possibly the leader of the Nox, or the strongest of the Nox, ends up showing up, ends up being okay, while Jago Take himself, he ends up grabbing Mori, takes the key from him, and he ends up transforming into a little baby, and then goes into some kind of angelic, looking like demon whatsoever. So like I said, this episode was pretty action-packed with a lot of Nox against Park Moo-jin and his commissioners, and Mori and his other friends against Jago Take, and Jago Take taking the key after the explosion in Seoul, while everyone innocent lives were actually teleported by the alchemy six member, that is, etc. So yeah, looks like to me there's a lot to talk about, because the way how it went, and people mentioning it, this is very rushed, which is really bad. So I don't know why they're trying to ruin it right now, but yeah. So until then, people, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Alpha Zero. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-toot!